Well, good morning, everybody. Right now is October the 7th, New York time, around 3 p.m. So when I announce this or post this on YouTube, it may be about an hour later. The talking about the index first, stock market in US. Nasdaq closed at 7788, on Friday. And Dow Jones, it was 26447 Dow Jones. So what about the future? The future of Dow Jones and Nasdaq right now is facing downward adjustment because from April up to now, the stock market already increased for about almost half years. So it's time to do some adjustment, especially interest rate increase in September. And there are two more times interest rate may increase before the end of this year. On the other hand, how about the Asian markets such as Hong Kong index, Hang Seng index? Hang Seng index early next week, it may drop another 1,000 points, 1,000 points more decrease. So today we'll try to briefly explain why. I haven't seen all of you for a period of time. In March, I already made forecasts about Dow Jones, and I even drew a graph about what Dow Jones will go and where, how much it will increase up to mid-September. If you look back to my YouTube in March, middle of March, you'll find out that the Dow Jones actually going up exactly as what I predict by middle of March about 13, about 95% correct. Surprise. So to make it short, Dow Jones it was increasing at around 60-degree upward trend, but then come to about 48-degree and then 45-degree. So in the future, we expect that Dow Jones will keep increasing in between 30-degree to 45-degree, that kind of slope. How about Nasdaq? Similarly. But what happened next week? Now is October the 7th, early in the morning. What happened next week? Nasdaq was increasing at a decreasing rate from July to October. And remember that Nasdaq was increasing at a decreasing rate. This for the last 3 months. But Dow Jones was increasing upward, straightforward. Now what does that mean? It means that the IT stocks actually increased too much already. And so it's time for IT stock to make some adjustment or maybe bigger adjustment. So in the future, if you buy non-IT stock, then you will gain more. If you buy IT stock in next 1 or 2 months, the risk will be much higher to lose money. So point number one. So we expect that Nasdaq coming next week will jump more. And we expect that Dow Jones Industrial Average also will do some adjustment, but not as much as Nasdaq. But in the long run, normal means from October to December, US stock market will still go up. in next 3 months. Now why? Okay, here are some explanations. But before we explain about why, we also let's talk about the Asian market. The Asian stock market, Hong Kong Hang Seng Index. Last week, it drops for more than 1,000 points. And actually, I already made this forecast, but I did it in Cantonese. So now I use English to speak one more time. Next week, Hang Seng Index will drop another 1,000 points. Now the reason actually they are related together. So let's talk about why. It's because of the trade war in between USA and China. Now this has happened for a while, but let's take a look at some figures. Now I do have some figures from World Bank, and I try not to use some 2016 figures. Let's try to find the figures by 3 years before 2015. In 2015, the total export of China, it was equal to 2,273 billion, actually 2,273.4 billion total export China, and about 18% to United States of America, and 14.5% to Hong Kong, which is also part of China. Now, then from Hong Kong to US, there were about 42 billion from Hong Kong to US. So add up together, actually the total export from China to US, it was total of 19.8%, almost 20%. In value, it was about 452 billion. Now, talk about percentages. About 19.8% means about 1/5 of the export from China to US. It highly depends on US market. So if US made any, tariff or trade war with China, the China's export or China's whole economy will have big influence. And that's why Hong Kong stock market drops in last 4 months to 5 months, while Dow Jones increased. And before, it never happened. Before, Hong Kong Hang Seng Index and Dow Jones goes together, just like twin brother, twin sister. Both went up together or went down together. The last few months, no. When Dow Jones increase, Hong Kong market drops because of this, because of the trade war, and because China depends highly on US market. On the other hand, how about US export to China? It was just about 7.97%. And as mentioned by the media and also by USA themselves, most of the exports, they can export to other countries, not only China. And so in this case, the influence of the trade war to USA is not that high. Compare the absolute amounts. The export from USA to China, it was about 150 billion, 150.4 billion in 2016, but it was 452 billion from China to USA. So it's about 1 to 3 times. China export 3 times more than United States, vice versa. That means now there's a trade war, the impact on China actually is very high. And so that's why you can see that from other news, you will find out that the communist Chinese government is trying to look for money or look for income from different sources, including take 100% control of the private sectors, including Alibaba and so on, so that to collect revenue from the private enterprise back to control, central control. Take a look of 2015 China export, 18% to USA, about 6% to Japan, 4.5% to Korea, South Korea, 3.04% to Germany. Now, so add this all up together will be about one third. Now what if USA sign agreement with Japan and sign agreement with Europe, and the agreement is similar to the agreement that USA signed with Canada and Mexico last week? That means preventing those countries that have partnership agreement with or trade agreement with USA to have another agreement with China. Now then China will be in another big trouble. At least one third of China's export will be affected immediately, depending how much of the tariff. If the tariff is 20-25%, it means that immediately one third of the economy of China may have big trouble. Company may shut down, or a lot of companies from foreign country, from Europe, from USA, will move to some other countries. Now because of this we call fundamental factors. Fundamental factors, that mean unavoidable. Two days ago, the Vice President of the United States gave a very long speech to the public, saying that the trade war in between China and USA will carry on. And actually, USA is now taking this seriously. And absolutely, USA will try to deal with this Communist Party. They use Communist Party instead of China. Now, so based on this information, you can find out that no way the China economy, including Hong Kong economy, will be good. And China economy and Hong Kong economy will face big trouble during the next few months. So now look back to the stock market. Already you can see that China's stock market drops a lot, and Hong Kong stock market also. So next time I will talk about the magnitude, I mean how much Hong Kong stock market will drop further, including China's stock market. But since USA stock market will not be affected too much, but however the interest rate is going up, and so I also expect that in the short run, I mean about within this 2 to 3 weeks, there will be some adjustment in US stock market. And next time we will talk about how far you go. And now today the most important part is we should know that the direction of Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and Hong Kong stock market, as well as China stock market, the direction. China, Hong Kong, down. Dow Jones and Nasdaq will still going up, but Dow Jones Industrial will going up in a stronger trend. But Nasdaq going up, but at a decreasing rate. So this is Eric Leung on October 7. So next 2 days, you'll find out that Hong Kong stock market will drop a lot, and Dow Jones and Nasdaq will have adjustment, downturn adjustment, and but this is short term. So pay attention to this YouTube, and I will try to give you information at least once a week, starting from now, because there's lots of bad news in the economy, and it's good to have an alternative or a second advice from Eric. But most important part is, don't forget that everybody should take their own risk to buy and sell any stock anywhere. My advice is just a second or alternative advice that all investors should take their own responsibility. Thank you to watch my video, and based on my forecast, I found out that my forecast was almost over 95% to 98% accurate, and I do hope that my forecast will help you to save money or not to lose too much money. Not talking about earning money, but not to lose money in the future. Thank you for watching, and please feel free to subscribe to my video, and also you may pass my video to anybody interested in the economy, as well as to find out the relationship between the political world and also the economy right now. So next time I will talk about the magnitude of Dow Jones and Nasdaq. As well, I will also pinpoint a few stocks in US market that they will drop, and so that myself, I would like to try if I can do some sell short for those market, those stock. Anyway, thank you for watching. October 7, I think now is New York time, about 4 a.m.